Hi, it's Don Southerton, and this week's episode of Everything Korea. Welcome back. The topic, immersion. Let's begin. Immersion. Where to begin? What to share? To qualify, specifically when working with Korean groups outside Korea, I fall back to three fundamentals with regard to business: hierarchy, place, and order. Hierarchy is one of the most distinguished characteristics of Korean culture and deeply embedded in the Korean workplace, both in Korea and overseas. Now, reaching back to Korea's Neo-Confucian past, social stratification is apparent within Korea's top corporations such as Samsung, Hyundai, Kia Motors, LG, and SK. More so, South Korea's authoritarian regimes of the 1960s and 70s and 80s reinforced the model. So we have like two layers: Neo-Confucianism and the authoritarian regimes. So that sort of provide a background and provide it sort of a ground for this to be nurtured. Now, for Koreans, hierarchy brings place and order to society and the workplace. Now, unlike in the West, within this hierarchy, no two individuals have the same place within the social matrix. So age, education, family, employment, title and position with a company, all impact how when we perceive within this matrix. So deeply does it impact Korea that rankings from one's academic class standards to consumer rankings of the major groups can play and matter considerably. Now, second, status and upmarket. Traditionally, Korea was a social status based society. Now, for the elites in the past, and we're going back hundreds of years, this manifested in a wide range of status markers, from treasured Celadon pottery, refined behavior, ritual robes, distinct cuisine, and table manners. Today, a former rigid class structure no longer exists. Class distinction and status more determined by one's education, employment, job position, and personal income. More so, we've seen considerably upward social mobility within Korea, and this is a direct result of the nation's considerable economic successes. Now, going hand in hand with upward mobility has been the demand for luxury and premium goods and products. In fact, these, most often Western, luxe items have taken on the role of status markers. This list can include, designer eyeglasses, handbags, watches, as well as ties, scarves, belts, and name-branded clothing. Now, although some Koreans have shown considerable desire over pricey goods, in the eyes of some Korean consumers, the more expensive and the more rare, the more desirable the brand. Consumers equate value with a high price tag. All in all, what we're seeing unfolding is an ever-growing demand for upmarket goods and products in Korea. This consciousness driven by a repositioning of Korean brands globally too. Korean brands wishing to be seen as premium and among the world's leading consumer goods, from cars to home appliances to electronics. Now, third sort of metric I look at things with: generations, shared experiences. Korea's dominant age groups have great impact on the Korean business culture, so there is value in understanding the differences in the Korean generations. Now, in Korea, a generational group is defined more by their shared experiences than by a specific number of years. And we have a number of those. For example, older Koreans in their 60s and 70s. We also have a group that we used to call the 386ers. Which was coined sort of reflective of the people who were at the time in their 30s during the late 90s. They were born in the 60s and educated in the 80s. Today we're maybe referring to them as 586ers, since there's been a shift in age. A third generation of South Koreans are those 26 through about 35, and they're commonly referred to as the new generation. and many of this group have studied abroad. They work and would prefer to support an overseas team and projects, fluent in English or other languages, and have a global perspective. Now, all in all, these three nodes, where we're talking about the hierarchy or status-based consciousness, and upmarket and generations, I look at these as a lens to better understand the Korean mindset, both within their society and in the workplace across global organizations. As always, questions, comments, thoughts, please share them. Until next time, this is Don Southerton, wishing you all the best. Take care.